Hey everyone, it's just Frankie-Lou coming to you today from the Grow Together homestead. I'm picking rhubarb this morning, and I like to do that quite early in the morning because I find it makes a difference as to the juiciness and the flavor. And I think my son would have killed me if I said, "Come on Angus, you don't get to sleep in today, you gotta come pick rhubarb." Yeah, that wouldn't have gone over so well. So just me. Kids don't get as excited about rhubarb as I do. Actually, nobody gets as excited about rhubarb as I do, but I thought I could give you a few pointers here on how to pick it, and I'll give you a quick recipe as well. So first, sorry, the ducks are really excited that I just filled their pond, so I apologize for all the noise. Rhubarb, it can be harvested several times, and the way that you harvest can actually have a huge impact on how much you can get out of it. I like to harvest mine a few times. I pick my largest leaves to start. That tends to give some chance for the smaller leaves to get bigger and get nice and red and juicy too. And then it'll all die off. I'll pick it and pick and pick it. I can usually get 3 or 4 really good harvests out of this in the spring, and then at least 2 really good harvests again in the fall. So I'm going to give you a couple pointers here on how to pull your rhubarb, because some people cut it, and that's not a good idea. It's a perennial. You don't want to leave stuff rotting on the stem. That's going to cause the root to rot. So I have found that pulling it also encourages more growth. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I've really found. So I'm going to try to show you how to do this. It's kind of hard to get in there because, as you can see, this is one monster of a rhubarb plant. And yeah, I'm going to show you how to do that now. We're going in. Now, as you can see, it's pretty crowded in here. This rhubarb has done so well since I moved it into this raised bed that I've made for it. And actually, by picking it, if I don't pick this, these little guys are never going to get big enough to actually use for anything. So I'm actually doing it a favor by doing some harvest here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this nice big juicy one here. I'm going to go deep. I'm going to get in there as close to the base as I can. I'm going to twist and pull. Ah, I love that sound. And see, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to get that so that you're actually gathering a little bit of the base as well. And you're going to go in and you're going to keep doing that. Some of these bigger guys, getting in there. Yeah, I'm going in as far down as I can go. And pulling. That one, actually, I managed to pull out a little baby with it, but that's okay. Okay, it's gonna do well. Alrighty then. Here's my harvest this morning. It's a lot, and I'm probably gonna have, if you look here at the plant, it's really not that much smaller. It's a little droopy because I did take about a third. No, not even, but I wouldn't recommend taking more than a third at a time. I'm gonna water this, give it a little time to recover. In a week's time, I'll have this again, okay? So yeah, it's a wonderful plant, rhubarb. If you haven't grown to love it yet, do try, especially if you live in a cold climate like we do, zone 3. It loves cold weather. I used to try to grow this when I lived in BC. I never got it looking this good. So it's the one thing that I know I'm gonna have a great harvest with every year, even with the hail. Well, one of the many things. I'll live all my edible perennials for that reason. Make sure you compost your rhubarb. You got to give it some goodies because it's giving itself. So I always make sure that I compost it well in the spring before it starts to come up, and also again in the fall after I do my last harvest. And another couple things: don't eat the leaves. Okay, they are full of I think it's called oxalic acid, and that can be poisonous if eaten in large quantities. But they're fabulous for building your greens in your compost. I have a tendency with all the critters and bedding and stuff that I have to put in here to have a lot of browns. So I love putting these greens into my compost. The other thing is that they are rather lovely. And I am having a dinner party tonight. I'm going to make a couple floral arrangements. And that makes really, really a nice backdrop for it. So that's another way that you can use your rhubarb. And now I'm going to go and make some... I think I'm going to make some rhubarb curd to put on my pavlova, so I'll show you how to do that too. All right, here we go. Okay, so I have taken some rhubarb here and I've washed it up. I'm going to see how much I've got because I'm going to cut off the ends here. I'm using my outdoor kitchen because honestly, on a nice day like today, who wants to be stuck inside, right? All right, so I got about that much, which is going to weigh, according to my scale here, almost 1.5 pounds. That's probably going to be good. I might have to do a little bit more, but for this demonstration, I'll show you, because I'm trying to create a juice that I can then use for tons of different things. Today, I'm going to use it to make the rhubarb curd for my pavlova, but I'm going to just show you the technique for doing this, and I'll have the curd itself on a different recipe because otherwise you're going to be watching this video for half an hour. Okay, so I've got this. We're going to chop it up, not too fine or anything, real quick. Doesn't have to be perfect because what you're going to try to do here is you're making it into a pulp, which we're going to use our handy dandy blender for. Okay, this might be a bit much, but we'll see if we can handle it. All right, popping all that in. Probably have to scrape down the sides a couple times. You're actually really going to get this so that it's almost like baby food consistency, because what we're trying to do here is get it so that we can get as much of the juice out as possible. Okay. Almost there. Oh, it smells so good. It's got that like really, really tart lemony smell. Okay, so that's perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fine sieve, one of my handy dandy Pyrex. I'm going to pour this into here carefully, so I don't want to lose a single drop, right? You can already see the juice is pouring out of it, but I'm going to help that along a little. This counter's cleaner than the one inside, so it's the other reason I'm doing this out here. My outside of my house is always nicer than the inside of my house because I like to be out here more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I actually like a nice heavy wooden spoon for this, is I press and I press out as much of the juice as I possibly can. It's not like making jelly where you have to like just let it drain and you don't want it to be cloudy. That doesn't really matter for a lot of the stuff I'm going to use this for. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to make a rhubarb curd, sort of like lemon curd but with rhubarb, because I can't grow lemons but I can grow rhubarb. But you could use this to make a cordial or a syrup that would be really delicious in cocktails. You could, oh my goodness, you could do tons of stuff. You could freeze it up and then use it as a sour note to add into things like sweet and sour sauce. All sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so that's what I'm left with in the sieve. Okay, so I've pretty much squished all of that out. And I've got here almost 2 cups, which is good. That'll probably work enough. I might do a couple more stalks, but that'll be enough to do my rhubarb curd, which is really, really yummy, by the way, if you haven't tried it. So there we go. And I'll cook that up. And I'm going to also make some, from some of the leaves, I'm going to also make some floral arrangements. So if you're interested in seeing the rhubarb curd recipe, that'll be another video coming up. As you can see, rhubarb can be extremely versatile. I'll be posting lots of rhubarb recipes over the next little while because it's going to keep me busy. You guys saw that plant out there. And if you have any questions you have about rhubarb or any of the other stuff that we do here on the homestead, please let us know. Put it in the comments for me. Subscribe if you want to see some of the other stuff that Angus and I are up to. And I hope that you take this chance to grow together today.